The best part about retirement is the freedom. Oh my word, talk about getting back to Oak Mountain. Just yesterday, February the 5th, I went to visit my alma mater at the new facility that was built back in the mid-90s after the original Folds House was shut down. My brother Eddie, who came to eat dinner with us, told us the whole story. He went to Oak Mountain all 12 years, and he has worked for Southwire for the last 35 years. There's the whole school in front of the Folds House, and this is a Norman Rockwell, 1946. Oak Mountain, the one-room schoolhouse. And that's me, 1977. And that's Michael and his class in 1977. Ms. Housen was our PE teacher at the time. This is Ms. Jackson, who taught me many grade levels. And Ms. Mincy, she was a PE teacher. We'd all won awards that year. Mine was in oral interpretation, and we all played sports on every team because we could. There were only a few kids who attended Oak Mountain for all 12 years. That was my science teacher, Ms. England, and that was Uncle Dick. He is one of the founding fathers, and that was Don Centel, my first principal. And these pictures are out of my 6th grade yearbook before I decided to go to Carrollton Jr. High for 2 years. Even though I made some wonderful friends at Carrollton Jr. High School, I felt the need to focus on academics and swimming. And besides, we were back in the Folds House as high schoolers. Oak Mountain went through a great deal of change after that bicentennial year. Many of us were involved in extracurriculars beyond Oak Mountain, like the Miss Bicentennial pageant and Miss West Georgia Fair pageant. I enjoyed the competition, but never won. I've got to say, music was one of the best things that my friends at Oak Mountain introduced me to. Here we are, playing the bells for our Christmas pageant. Today, February the 7th, I reached out and talked to one of my classmates for the first time in decades. And we played catch-up like two friends who had a great history together. We established a line of communication that takes us all the way back to high school. We talked about our love for music and how far back it goes at Oak Mountain when there used to be jam sessions. I told him about Michael taking me to Mother's Finest in 1977. And he told me he worked security for that concert. And this was last summer. Mother's Finest at the Amp in downtown Carrollton. When we were in elementary school, the juniors and seniors had a little band, and they would come play for us. And he remembers them playing at the Folds House, and I remember them playing at the Butler Building when I was in 6th grade. That's me, Wednesday, February the 5th, showing off the clock built by Mr. Roy English, our science teacher. Throughout high school, Eddie and I actively participated on the swim team. Eventually, we became most improved. I took home trophies for Best Female 15-17 all 3 years. There you go. In 1978, I transferred to Arlington, and Keith transferred that next year, and we were seniors together. When I first started going to Arlington, my mama and Ms. Joyce Moore used to shuttle us back and forth because Bill and Dia had been going to Arlington since ninth grade and 8th grade. Keith and I shared a story on a mutual classmate of ours. You see, Jim, Angelia, and I got tickets to go participate in a star student competition. Keith had left his ticket at home, so he didn't get to go. This was the same time we were taking the SATs. So, Jim had a car, and he drove Angelia and me over to Tech where we competed. Jim won, and on the way back he had to stop at a gas station and take a couple of congratulatory hits off of a joint, you know. When we got back to campus, Angelia and I were all giggles. And Miss Slater gave Keith hell for missing out on that opportunity to win. My graduation gift was a trip to Germany to see my OMA and my Tante Ida. I am so thankful to my parents for giving me the freedom to choose my school. And for keeping all the documentation.